Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for the massive amount of interest in this workshop. Wow, this room is filling up fast. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. We had over 300 registrants for this workshop. And look, we're all trying to figure this out together. I mean, using AI to help us in our businesses, it's the thing. We're all talking about it. We're using AI to generate copy for sales scripts, for emails, for subject lines. We're using AI to generate amazing images. In fact, someone from our team generated a bunch of AI images of Rob, Darius, and I, and they're hilarious to look at. And of course, we're using AI to create content and to create videos and to get more conversations and get more ultimately clients. So here we are getting ready, of course, to unpack that. Darius, what do you have in store for us?
Well, as Ruben mentioned, some of you guys, this may be new. This may be your first official lesson in AI and how to use AI in your business today. And I can promise you that what we're learning today, this is going to be one of those topics that will be constantly evolving and constantly changing, just like video's done over the past few years. But what we want to try to do is get in front of things, right? If you learn something now, it's going to teach you the groundwork of understanding how AI is going to be applicable to your business in the future. So while we're learning today is going to be applicable in today's lessons, it's also, again, laying the groundwork for understanding the technology in the future. So that's why we're going to start with just some general overview of exactly what is the AI in our world today, how we're using it for business. And then we're going to get into the specifics of how we're going to actually use it right now, today, using Dubb, using the AI to actually grow our business with some very easy to use techniques and strategies.
First thing we should do is probably some housekeeping. If you could please, in the chat, tell us where you're tuning in from, city, state, country. We'd love to know where you guys are cruising in from. The second thing is, what problem are you trying to solve? If you're looking to create better scripts for your videos, put that in. If you want better subject lines or email copy, put that in. If you're trying to become a YouTube creator, a social media video creator, if that's your goal, put that in. If you're trying to improve what you're already doing, put that in. It's going to help us to make this workshop a lot more actionable and a lot more specific. So thanks for doing that. Please also keep your microphone on mute. If you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand. Interrupting us is totally fine. Just use the raise your hand feature. Sometimes we do polls. So you'll notice there's a reactions button on the bottom of your Zoom account. And if you click the little up arrow, I'm looking at this on desktop, I do see some options. So there's just a couple of hand gestures. So there's a thumbs up and a clap and a heart and crying. And there's a bunch of cool ones. Use those. It gives us real-time feedback. So just so everyone could test that, could I just get a big thumbs up on everyone's Zoom? Just to make sure everyone's in the habit of doing that on the Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and click mine. And that's just a little animation that appears right there. Cool. All right, Darius.
So what we're going to start with today, guys, is what are the benefits of using AI? We're going to get into how it's programmed, what it is, and stuff like that. But first, why? Why even should we be concerned with AI at all? And the number one factor that this is saving for us right now is time, because we spend a lot of time copywriting and writing things and reviewing things and brainstorming and researching. And these are all the things that the AI can support with. So a lot of the focus of today's training, and pretty much a lot of these AI trainings, are going to be around how it's going to save time. Now, if you had all the time in the world, could you possibly write something or do something better than the AI? Probably. But that's the whole point, is not using your valuable time and learning how to leverage the technology to save that time. Time is money. Time is irreplaceable. And so that's the biggest benefit of using the AI technology today, is saving time. And of course, when you're saving time, that enables you to do other things like increasing your skill level with using technology. It allows you to be more efficient, increase your outputs. So you're getting more content, more video, more lead magnets out there, while not really increasing the amount of work that you're doing yourself. So time is the ultimate factor here. And that's what we're going to be winning back more of using the AI today. There's another thing here, which is it has access to the database on the internet, a lot of information at one time, and it can pour over this information a lot quicker than us. And so again, that time factor comes back to leveling up our own intelligence, our own research, our own writing, using the research tool. because you can only read one blog post at a time and find so much information at once, where the AI is going to be able to scan much more of that information in a short order. So time and leveling up your technology skills are the reasons we want to be using AI, learning about AI, because it's not going anywhere. And people are going to benefit from learning these skills. So
I think Socrates said it best. All that I know is that I know nothing. And that quote can't be more true, now that we have the lens of artificial intelligence, because we all have to realize that we're not an expert really in anything. We might think that we've been doing something for decades and we are the preeminent expert in some particular subject matter. But then the second that we go and put things into the AI and put the right prompts in, of course, which is what we're going to talk about in this workshop, we realize that there's things that we're not thinking of. There's things that are outside of our perspective. So I think, this is about getting more conversions and it's about getting more clients, but it's also, to Darius's point, it's also about leveling up our knowledge, our intelligence to make us more qualified, more skilled.
So before we jump in, what is AI in today's business world, right? Artificial intelligence, the way it applies to our business development today is really through a writing and research assistant. So this can be used for research and writing, essentially those two things. Now, down the road here, it's going to be capable of a lot more things like live conversations and things like that. But primarily it is for writing and researching right now, because it can do both of those things much faster than us. But there will be some limitations here, guys. It's not going to be able to write something perfect for you the first time out. And that's why the human element here is so important. There's a lot of people that are concerned, like, is this going to take my job? Is this going to replace me? What's happening with this? And, depending on your job, that may be a reality. But if we're in anything professional services, if we're providing something that humans can provide, we're not in any risk of that. But what we are at risk of is falling behind where our competitors and our other companies are going to be implementing this technology, increasing their footprint, increasing the amount of content that they're producing. And so we need to be able to keep pace with that by leveraging the tools that are available. So will it replace your job? Hopefully not. If you're a very basic writer that's doing the bare minimum, maybe. But even for writers, your piece is still needed here. Anyone that's writing, we're always going to need this human element. I can't say forever, but in this day and time, we still need this human element to do some very important things when we're using an AI or writing or research assistant. So again, those two topics, research and writing, is what it does well, but it's still going to need a human aspect applied to it. And we're going to cover that in detail, like what actually we need to do when we're implementing the AI. So another interesting topic that people often have is, can we tell if it's written by an AI? And the answer is right now, yes. Like if you went and said, hey, write me a script on this, and you just copy and pasted that exact piece, it will probably be able to tell that it was an AI, because there's certain things, there's certain nuances when we write as a human, and the AI doesn't have those yet. It can do a pretty good job, but if anyone is really reading at it and scrutinizing it, you'd probably be able to tell. Sometimes there's misplaced sentences. Sometimes the thoughts aren't completely coherent in long form content. So will you be able to tell it what AI that wrote it today? Most likely. But down the road here, and after the human revision steps, no. Once you've had a chance to pass over it yourself, you will be able to easily pass that on. But yeah, exactly. You can use the AI spoof tools to find like stuff that was freshly written by an AI. But once a human's had a chance to comb over it, if they've done a decent job, which again, we're going to talk about that proofreading step, then no, the AI would not, or it would not be able to tell if it was written.
I just have a interesting poll here to ask. Has anyone had any negative experiences with AI, either from a creation perspective or from a viewing consumption perspective? The ideas that come to my mind are, number one, you put in an AI prompt and it was a joke. I know that if you put write me a love song like John Lennon, it's kind of a joke. If you put write me a poem, it's kind of a joke. If you put a haiku, it starts to be okay, because a haiku is such an interesting thing. I've seen terrible sales scripts. I've seen terrible YouTube videos. The other thing that is interesting is, students in universities, they're using ChatGPT and AI tools to literally write their essays and the assignments that they hand in. And it's starting and causing all sorts of backlash. So if anyone has any negative stories, please put those in the chat, because that's how we're going to learn here and how to improve ultimately.
So how is this AI developed? Like right now, people are wondering, where is this stuff coming from? Where is the AI itself, the intelligence of it coming from? And at this point, it's all still human learning. So all these AI teams, all this AI development that's happening, there's actually people, teams of humans that are reviewing these responses, these prompts that people are asking it, and programming the AI to sound more human, to respond more intelligently. So all of the programming and things like that are all still coming from human learning. We're still very manually programming these AI technologies to learn how to communicate better, to understand our questions and the way we communicate at a higher level. So this is still in growth right now. And if you guys have not seen it, it's on a very, very fast track. So the technology that came out 3 months ago is now, twice what it was the previous 3 months. Remember like the semiconductors, if you guys, the chip size just shrank every few years. It's going to be very similar to that, where the progression of the AI is going to happen very, very quickly. And for right now, though, it's designed by humans. The inputs are humans. And so all the decisions and things like that it's making is based off of these logical human things that are happening. Now, however, it does not have morals, right? It will lie. There will be some things, some limitations in it where it's not concerned about, it doesn't have concerns, right? It's a program that was programmed by humans. So there's a lot of limitations, again, that we're going to cover in here in sort of this review step. But the AI is developed through human inputs, human programming to just say, here, if a human says this, here's how a human should respond. And that's how all these learnings are happening right now. So it's going to continue to get smarter at a much higher rate because the industry is growing very rapidly. The number of people providing these inputs and decisions are also increasing rapidly. So eventually here, it will be very similar to what we're communicating. They're saying within maybe a year, you're going to have a lot of difficulty differentiating whether you're speaking to a human or an AI. But for now, again, it's human input, human-based. All right. We have a next section. We're actually ready to get into this piece, guys. How can you actually use AI in your business for your sales and marketing strategy, using AI to grow your business? Now, there's a couple of topics here. They're all generally designed around those two that I mentioned, research and writing, but there's different types of research and different type of writing that you can produce. One of the most common things is writer's block. Right? What do I say? What do I say today about my business? I don't know. I should post something. I know I should send something to somebody, but what do I say today? Brainstorming is a really powerful topic where you can just ask the AI. Again, we're going to get into visuals and show you guys how to actually ask the prompts and things like that. But brainstorming topics is a very easy way to overcome writer's block, to create an outline for your next blog post, your next YouTube video, your next social experiment. Creating the outline is one of the most valuable things we can do with the AI because it can generate a whole bunch of ideas for us based on what's out there, based on research very, very quickly. And then instead of wondering each topic, each bullet from scratch for ourselves, we can use the outlines that it provides to give us a really great starting point. So brainstorming ideas probably is one of the most common use cases of the AI. Like, what are 5 reasons people should buy real estate in the X housing market, right? Like that would be a brainstorming ideas. Why am I going to create some content around this today? Here's 5 reasons, and then ask it again. It'll give you 5 more. So brainstorming ideas when you're in writer's block, when you don't know what to say, because especially with Dubb, outside of even AI, we have a lot of users that are like, what should I do my videos on today? I'm not sure. Like, I know I should post something. And so with the AI, it's very easy to overcome that obstacle. We're going to show you guys how to give the AI some prompts to have it tell you basically anything that you're looking for. The prompts are going to be the magic with the AI. The more intelligent you can ask your questions, the more concise, the more specific, the better the outputs are going to be. And we're going to give you guys a nice little guideline for how to give the AI really detailed prompts so you get great responses back. So brainstorming. The other thing, right? Research, that's the first one. The second part of that, though, is actually writing. Actually doing the writing itself. It can create scripts, it can create outlines, it can create blog posts, whatever form of content you're asking it to write. Subject lines, email bodies, social media posts. This is the actual writing step where, again, we're going to show you guys how to give some prompts to get the content you want out of the machine. So in your guys' business, just think for a moment, what is the most common type of thing you should be writing? Is it an email? Is it like a product, a sales email? Is it a blog post? Is it a social media post? Just take a minute and think about what is that form of content you should be creating on a regular basis. Now, for us, it's all of it. It's a social post. We need blog posts. We need YouTube videos. So we're using this tool constantly to help us research, come up with blocks, right? Here's bullet point 1, 2, and 3. Now that becomes my content that I'm going to create. So just take a minute and think about that for yourself in your business. What content should you be creating? Is it multiple forms? Is it an email? Is it a blog? Is it a YouTube video? Is it all of the above like ourselves? Many of you are going to find yourselves in the all of the above. Like if you're in real estate, it should be all of the above. You should have long form content on YouTube, on social. You should have short form content for going directly to your audiences. You should have somewhere in between for your social posts. So many of us should be creating content on all of these channels. And this is where the writing comes in. You can write each of those pieces of content. Write me a sales email on, and again, we'll come to the prompts because that's, again, where the magic lies. The better the prompt, the better the outcome is going to be. Dwayne, yeah, there you go. There's going to be several tools that are maybe specific for writing, but the fact is that most of them are powered by the same technology on the back end. So you actually don't need the front end prompts. That's a little confusing. I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wanted to just quickly interject and say that we actually hit our limit in Zoom today. So in our writing, when it says, please reserve your spot in this workshop, we mean it. That's not AI writing some hypey copy. We hit our limit. Some people are texting me saying that they can't get into this room. So yes, we'll look to see. I think the problem is we don't want to have this as a webinar, because on a Zoom webinar it's sort of blocked and people can't really turn their mics on. So anyways, we'll improve that. Darius, I can do any type of a prompt that you'd like me to here.
Right. No, I got a couple more, and then I'm going to come back to the prompt. I got one more piece. Then I'm going to jump into the actual prompt writing component. Because, again, that's Great. Where this thing happens. So the prompt writing's coming next. But before I do that, something really important, guys, some pro tips, some really important things. One is anything that gets generated, because now I'm gonna unlock the keys for a second. I'm going to show you how to do this stuff, but I want to make sure I don't get you in trouble. So one of the things is everything that is written by an AI needs to be reviewed by a human. And there's several reasons for this. One of those reasons, as I mentioned earlier, the AI does not have morals. It also doesn't have a fact checker. So it's going to produce statements that may be inaccurate or may be just wrong. So when you use it for things like researching or writing, it is required that you go over this writing line for line. You should know what you're putting out there for your business, right? You wouldn't just say, hey, figure this out and go. You would review it. And so this same process needs to happen, because the AI at this point can produce false information, like information that's just inaccurate completely, because that's what humans do, right? Humans lie all the time. We put stuff on the internet that's not true. And that's what the AI is using for its information. It's going to the internet, researching all of the content that's out there to produce this. So you always, 100% of the time, for several reasons, again, one is it may be inaccurate, which makes you look bad, right? You're putting information out there that's not necessarily true. The second thing is it may also be plagiarized. There's not any filter on these machines to prevent plagiarism. I think Grammarly's premium thing has some plagiarism filter, but that's the only AI tool I've seen with any sort of plagiarism filter. So everything at this point needs to be reviewed by a human. Don't prompt the AI and then copy that and send it. You need to make sure you're doing the review on it. So if you've done research and you say, give me some stats on something, you'll want to double check the stats. If you say, here, write me this thing, and you read it and it's coming up with some information that you are not sure of yourself, double check the statements there. Because again, it will take content that is other people's information, and it will produce information that is either accurate, inaccurate, or outdated. This doesn't mean every time. It doesn't mean everything it's going to say is wrong, but we need to review the information so that when we're putting stuff out there, we're not getting ourselves in trouble. Can you ask it to provide citations for sources? Typically not. I believe that in a future iteration, it will be, but you will want to cite your own sources if you're creating something like a blog and you want to do backlinks and things like that. So again, the human review, I see some really good questions about the human review process. I'm glad you guys are paying attention to this, because you don't want to put inaccurate or false information out there or plagiarized information. So before you're publishing AI content, exactly, Joseph, it will outright lie sometimes. It'll make stuff up. So human review is absolutely critical for anything produced by AI. Okay, so that's enough of the rules. You guys are aware of this step, making sure you're putting your own eyeballs on anything that gets produced by the AI. Now we're going to open the keys, guys. We're going to tell you the best ways to prompt, to instruct the AI to give you the gold, to give you what you need from it. There's a couple of bullets here. The first thing is, before you ask it something, you need to have a clear goal in mind. What is the purpose of what you're asking the AI to do? If you want a sales script on, write me a script on selling this object, selling this thing. That's with the end goal in mind, right? You have a goal. I want to sell this product. So I'm going to ask it to write a product to sell this. I'm going to write an email to sell this product. So that's a specific example of having the end goal in mind. The more specific the AI's answer is going to be. So having the end goal in mind this is critical for any writing step too, guys. If you've ever written anything, you'll know that's where you need to start, is having the end goal in mind. And then you write backwards from there. It's like a thesis statement, right? Here's what I want to accomplish. Here's how we're going to do that. So starting with the clear goal. The second thing is being concise. Now, this is going to conflict a little bit with the next one, which is going to be naturally, conversing with the AI. But when we say concise, sometimes people are very long-winded, right? When I want you to write this thing, describe why we should use blinds for our home. And it's going to say, oh, it keeps the sun out, keeps you protected from UV rays. But if you say, why should people use homes if they have windows that are like this over this area? Don't be long-winded. Being concise is going to help the program give you specifically what you want. So there's going to be a balance between being concise and these next two steps, which are providing context. So context is very important for getting the delivery of what you want. I'm going to give an example of this as well. But that's really the fine line, is between being concise and providing enough context to really get what you want from the AI. So 1, clear goal. 2, being concise. The next one is, this is surprising. It might surprise a lot of you guys. We actually want to converse with the AI in a natural language. Some people, when they go into Google and they say, they ask it some weird thing that you wouldn't say out loud. You'd say, how much this thing? It's not proper English. You didn't write it in a sentence. You just put some words and hit enter. Now, with the AI, it's actually recommended that you prompt it as you would a human, as you would ask a question like a person would. Write me a script on this thing. And then it's going to give you that based on your natural question, as you would type to a human, not like a short form Google keywords with the plus. Remember, we all learned how to do Google searches a long time ago, and they're like, oh, use the plus button and use the and use. So it's not like that. There's not syntax. There's not anything else. It's writing a sentence like you would question a normal person. The last one here is context. The more context you can provide, the better the output is going to be. An example of context. Let's say, why should people buy real estate in Florida? That's going to give you a really good prompt. It's going to say why people should buy real estate in Florida. He's going to go ahead and do that, and we'll let it generate. But this isn't specific enough. This is what I would consider without some context, right? There's what part of Florida, who, right? Maybe if you're speaking to retirees, that would be an example of adding context. So you'd say, right, why should retirees consider purchasing real estate in Florida? And it's going to give you a much more specific answer based on that context. So that was an example, guys, that I gave you of something that's very concise, but also providing the context that we need. So there's always going to be this balance. And again, this is a skill, guys. It's like a communication with a robot, with an AI, but it's something that you can improve upon. So when you understand these limitations or these sort of boundaries, communicating with a human, providing all the context of your message, being concise and not providing extra information that it doesn't need. Those key concepts are what are going to help you get the best output delivered to you. So like this example here, it gave 4 solid reasons and a conclusion about why people should buy real estate in Florida. And again, that was minus the context, minus why retirees should do it, or minus why real estate investors should invest in Florida. So again, The context is everything here. The more context you're going to provide it, the more specific the outputs are going to be. But again, be aware of that balance. If you have so many contextual clues, then it's probably too much information for it. One other thing, pro tip here, tonality. You can actually tell it to write with a certain tone. Like if you want it to be write an informative script about why should retirees invest in real estate in Florida. Write a convincing script, and it's going to try to give you things that are more convincing. You can actually tell it a tone to write in, casual, informative. Write a convincing script on why this should happen. So actually adding a tone of your messaging as well. So again, that's a form of context, right? Like how you want the message positioned, but it's not directly context where you're not saying retirees. So that term context applies to sort of multiple things on this type of input. So context meaning Florida, meaning retirees, but context also meaning what is the context of this message? Am I trying to convince someone of something? Am I just trying to educate? An educational tone. So a friendly tone. So that tonality is another thing that a lot of people will forget or not be aware of. And that comes also back to the conversationality of the prompts. You want to ask it questions like a human, because that's how these things are being trained. That's actually how they're being programmed. People are answering or asking human-like questions, and people are responding as a human would. And that's programming the AI to continue to learn. So those few bullets, guys, again, will give you much better outputs for your writing. Clear goal, keeping it concise, natural language, and providing the right context. Those tips will give you the best prompts for the AI. But again, it's going to provide an output here, and that does not circumvent the rules that I just mentioned earlier. It still needs to be fact-checked. It still needs to be reviewed to make sure it's coherent, to make sure everything is solid there. So that part is really important. Again, the fact-checking and the prompts. There's another use case that I want to really talk about, which is rewriting. When we want to rewrite something. So let's say you either did a first draft yourself, or we can actually take somebody else's content and repurpose it, rewrite it with the AI. So let's say you have an influencer in your space, someone in your industry that's doing things really cool, whether this is YouTube or social or whatever channels you're seeing or following them on. All you have to do is take their content and essentially have the AI rewrite it. Of course, don't skip the human review step, but rewriting content is what this thing can do very, very well. Because again, that's a super, super specific prompt. Remember what I was just saying about context, about specificity, about being concise? When you say rewrite this, it's a very, very specific set of instructions. And you can even be more specific or more contextual. Rewrite this to be humorous. I don't know how it's going to do on humor, but rewrite this to be more convincing. Rewrite this to be better. And it's going to try to do a better job than whatever that first draft was. So rewriting is a thing that really opens up our ability to create here again, guys, because now you don't even have to know what you're doing. Just go follow someone that's in your space that's doing it well, and then rewrite their content using the AI. And then you can take this and now use that as your blog, use that as your video script, use it as whatever piece of content that you're borrowing from someone. So again, there's the line of plagiarism and then borrowing from people. And that's why that human step, that human rewriting step is so, so important, because it's going to get us out of any trouble that might occur from, rewriting or borrowing from people's content.
Here's an example of a script. What I did was I actually put a script that I used in the teleprompter on the Dubb mobile app. And it's a script that I used. Actually, I used AI in part to help me write this script. I used the Dubb AI assistant for this, but I put a lot of my own human tone on this. And what I had the system do actually was to rewrite this script to be more humorous and convincing. And then of course there's a script, and you can notice, it's doing its interpretation of what's humorous. And here it says, and laugh all the way to the bank. So that's its joke,
it did definitely add some language there that
Yeah.
you can see is not what you would consider highly professional or really,
Right.
it's like, look, they savvy entrepreneurs, you're serious moolah. Like nobody says moolah in unless they're trying to be funny or trying to be humorous. So I
Right.
don't know about you guys. I've never said moolah in a sales email. Maybe we should use it more often and people might get a laugh from it. So
Yeah.
anyway, this is the way to prompt the tool. And again, guys, rewrite, don't take what's there. And Pamela, you mentioned that the borrowing is a slippery slope. And I think that's important to provide some context here about that, is because when you're doing this human revision step, that's where you're making sure you're not stealing, you're not plagiarizing, because you're going to put it in your own words, in your own context, with your own audience and your own personality. And if you guys have spent 5 minutes on social media following somebody or more than one person, you're going to see this is what everybody is doing. Literally, like watch one viral TikTok and you're going to see 100 other viral TikToks of the same exact thing. They change one little thing, the location or what, it's the same thing, same music, same script, same everything. So this is what people are doing. And it's not a wrong thing, right? It's a compliment. It's saying, look, this is great. We're going to do something similar to it. We're going to do our own version of that. And so that line between plagiarism, like getting in trouble when you're trying to publish something in school, in this world of business, it's a lot more fast and loose, right? People are borrowing from content all the time. You're not that person. You're not selling the same exact thing as them, the same business, the same industry, the same whatever. So obviously don't copy. You're never going to copy someone's thing, but borrowing inspiration from them is something that every single person is doing right now, because it's 10 times more work to come up with all the stuff on your own. And then you don't even know if it's going to work. When you can look at someone's stuff that is working, is working, and take advantage of borrowing inspiration from that. So don't be intimidated to borrow from somebody, but also make sure you're doing diligence in rewriting it, in making your own element to it. All right. So questions on prompts, guys. I see a bunch of these in here. I'm going to try to go through them. We got one more piece here, which is next steps for Dubb. And I want to show you guys how to actually use our AI. What we've actually done with the AI is tried to make it as accessible as possible. So right here on the Chrome extension, if you guys are familiar with our little Chrome extension, many of you guys probably have it installed. The AI assistant is right there. So you don't have to come back to the Dubb website. You can actually be in the middle of whatever you're doing, pop open the extension and prompt the AI to give you whatever you need. So it's very readily accessible. And the limitation right now with like Chat GPT, like the free version, is it's often unavailable during business hours because their servers are so slammed. And this is going to be its own little backdoor into that. So if you guys are familiar with Chat GPT or you're super comfortable with that, they're very, very similar. This is just going to sort of skip that open queue and give you guys like the pro access, where the wait's going to be a much, much shorter time, usually sort of instantaneously here. And it's also available just a click away. You don't need to come log in or do anything extra. Click one single button and your AI writing and research assistant is a click away. So how to prompt this thing, where it's located, how to access it, we've shared that all with you guys now. So there's little excuses. You have nowhere to hide. Your AI is one click away for you guys to start leveraging this tool. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to take a very quick show of hands here. And how many people would like to see the AI assistant, what we call IRA, which stands for Interactive Reaction Assistant? How many people would like to see it on the Dubb mobile app? It is not yet there, but we'd like to kind of gauge the interest. So if I could just get a thumbs up to see what the interest is on adding that to the Dubb mobile app, I would love that feedback. As you guys know, we are always listening. We are always inspired by the feedback that we get and the requests that we get and the problems that we can solve together. Of course, nobody here is perfect and no technology is perfect, but we can always iterate and improve. So, thank you for that feedback. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming to see all the interest in that. I have an ask, we're always looking for reviews. So if you guys could consider leaving us a review in the Play Store or in the App Store, it would mean the world to us. This is the best type of compliment that you can give to us. Going to the Chrome extension store, going to the Play Store for your Android or the App Store for your Apple, consider just spending about 30 seconds to leave us a review. And guess what? You can use the AI assistant to help rewrite your review, or even maybe write one from scratch. I don't know if that's against the terms of service, so let's stay legal here, but we would love the support.
That's awesome. Yeah. The other thing too, guys, so that's a great point, Nadia, is that, Chat GPT was updated up to 2021. And so all these AI tools as of today are going to be limited to that year. But this is going to be a very finite thing. It's probably the next version of the AI that comes out is going to have up-to-date information. So, but yes, currently, and that's why, again, that human step is so important, because if you ask it to pull up stats, and like if you're in real estate, the stats may be very different today than they were 2 years ago. And in fact, they will be very different. So that's why that human element is still very critically required, because of some of the limitations of the tool. And there might be other people with your name that it tries to learn from, right? There might be other people. So that's sort of a problem when it comes to specific learnings. Now, I believe in the future, there's going to be other iterations of this that can be sort of trained more for a specific person. I've seen some stuff like that with like video and images where they can sort of start training these AIs based on inputs. So yeah, that's probably right around the corner where it'll be more able to learn your style. Bard, yeah, there you go. Bard is up to date since it's Google. You're right, but there's going to be different algorithms, like the way that those ones work, and it's like Bard versus Chat GPT versus there's a couple other ones that are sort of leading the charge, and they're all going to have slightly different technology because they're in a competition, right? So it's like Siri versus Alexa kind of thing, right? They're in a race to see who's going to build the better tool. Again, this was just to introduce you guys to this topic, to make sure, A, that you have it readily available inside of Dubb. You can use it for research, use it for writing. It's one click away. And then 2, so you guys actually know how to use this tool now, know what it's capable of today, and know what you can use it for right now and how to get the best outputs from it so that your information isn't false, you're not getting yourself in trouble, but you're able to scale, you're able to produce more content much faster. So hopefully you guys have walked away with that today, having a better understanding of how this is working, how you can actually use it in your own business right now, right after this. That's what I wanted you guys to walk away with is, good, I can go use this right now and I know how, and I didn't know before. I love the feature suggestions, guys. If you've been with Dubb for any length of time, this is how we operate. We listen to our audience and then we come build stuff, guys. So we love that. We love the input, and I think we got some great feedback here to improve this one. Rich, can the AI research infographic information? This is exactly what it's used for. But again, the research is a really awesome step that it can provide, but these steps need to be fact checked. So when you use it to pull up research, it may be pulling from resources that are not cited, that are artificial, that are just inaccurate. And so use it to do the research, but then double check the actual stats that it puts out. Like when we do a blog post that includes stats, we always provide the source. That does 2 things for us. 1, it provides credibility, but 2, it provides a backlink. So now that content is more searchable, it's more findable, it's more SEO friendly on the internet. So that step of fact checking your stats, your graphics you're going to pull up is really going to benefit you, because the AI is not going to give you the source. So you want to go make sure that's real, make sure it's accurate, but then also find the source and get a backlink. So your stuff will be more internet friendly, more SEO friendly. Daisy had a good question. It said, Daisy, can you act as a business owner of a bartering system and write an email about a new barter opportunity? And so this is actually like, for me, like if I was the AI, we'd be able to do that, but we need more context, right? What type of business owner, what type of bartering system, what's being bartered, and then what is the new opportunity? Like if you gave it more specific outputs to that, then it may be able to give you that answer that you're looking for. So like, the owner of a bartering system, like something that's recognizable or something that has to be out there. If this is brand new technology, guys, or a brand new service or something that's, recent, like in this year alone, it's not going to have any information on that, or it's not going to be able to piece together something. But if it's a concept or a topic or a business or anything that's been around for any length of time, there'll be plenty of information for it to pull something on. So like real estate, for example, there's so much information, buyers and sellers and commercial, everything you could research on there is available for that. Like a bartering system though, Daisy, if this is something proprietary, if it's something new, that may be something it needs more context or an example for to pull from. Travel agency, Daisy. So yeah, I'd like to know what specifically you'd put in for a travel agency. So then, yeah, you would say, write it what you need to hear and say, as a travel agency, write a script for a travel agency to convince business owners to take their employees on a vacation, right? Like that's what a lot of travel agents want to do. They're like, hey, talk to this business. They got 10 employees that need a little, hiatus or whatever. Write a script on that. So that's what you would ask it to do, is give you a specific output based on the goal you're trying to accomplish. So as a travel agent, you want to have to take this business owner and you want to have them book a vacation and book a trip for many of their employees. So that's the end goal in mind. And now you just need to provide enough context and specificity into the message. And so you'd write a script on why a business owner should use a travel agency to book vacations for their employees. Again, I'm not the travel agent. You could probably get a better prompt than what I just gave, but that would be a pretty good starting point.
Here's a great question from Lenore. Will it learn how your humor is and then use it? I really love this question.
Yeah.
I have not seen anything that allows us to do that. I think what's interesting about this AI is that it will do really well if you give it prompts like other authors. Like, for example, Shakespeare, Hemingway, Sarah, you mentioned that. It does really well when you do that. So if you wanted to write a certain way, you can put a certain name in there or a style or a tone, and it will do that. Is there a way for it to learn your style? I think the answer is yes. And I think the way that it can do that is that if you have a lot of content on the internet, if you have YouTube videos, because the AI systems are transcribing YouTube videos, that is a massive content source for it, because YouTube is the world's second largest search engines, right? If you have blog posts, if you have social media captions, if you have information about yourself on LinkedIn, on websites, on web pages, Crunchbase, bio accounts, it will learn your style. So I would encourage you, if you want it to learn your style, you have to feed the internet, you have to feed the beast. And then of course it will learn your style. So I had a chance to kind of experiment with some of that stuff with my content, and it was okay. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff out there, but it was able to figure out some things about me. Some things were wrong. Some things were factually wrong about me. And some of the tonality and some of the things that it used were incorrect. I wouldn't use those. But I would say the more you use it, the more content that's out there, the more it's going to improve.
Excellent.
Nora, thank you so much for the compliment. This has been the best class on AI. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So now you guys are equipped. This is our mission. This is our goal, to help as many people as possible. And that's why we're always building. I'm here every day. We're all here every day to support you guys. And we're continuing to invest in the company, in the technology, into what we can provide for you guys. So can't thank you enough. And for your attendance, for your participation, and for feedback. We love it. We're going to add these features we talked about, increase the box size, increase the inputs. Again, we appreciate you guys, and you're our lifeblood here that keeps us going, keeps the show running. So
I wanted to give a shout out to Russ Johns, who's in the room. Russ Johns is a pro Dubb coach. If you guys are looking for any type of assistance, building campaigns, building landing pages, which is a new feature on Dubb, which we'll be promoting soon, creating your automated workflows, coming up with a sales strategy, we encourage reaching out to Russ. Bookruss.com is his URL. So check that out. We have a lot of events coming up. Please look at those emails when you get a chance. You've already received an email with a link to these. There's a showcase page that has all of the previous recordings that we've done for these types of workshops. Ina, if you could please share that.
It's also going to be on the YouTube support channel, which I also just dropped into the chat.
That's right.
All our trainings will be uploaded to the Dubb Support YouTube channel. The link is in the chat. So all the recordings, just as soon as we come, maybe do a little edit or something on it, will be uploaded there shortly thereafter. That's right. So please consider subscribing to that YouTube channel. That's our support channel. We have another YouTube channel called Rev Show, which is youtube.com/Dubb app, where we have more kind of specific educational and entertaining content. So consider checking that out. The AI tool Ira on Dubb is available for pro users. So if you do not yet have a paid account, please consider upgrading your account. If you need some support on how to upgrade, or if you want to get a special offer for attending today's workshop, just
put it in the chat. Put one in the chat if you are considering upgrading your Dubb account, and we will reach out to you and we will make sure that you are treated like the VIP that you are. We are going to stick around if there's any specific questions. If anyone wants to do a query with me, just throw it in the chat. I'll just do it in real time. Why not? And, every single day, Darius and the team and I, we're all in there training, dubb.com/T. So please consider joining that if you need any type of assistance whatsoever. As Darius mentioned, we're always listening. So if you have any ideas for improvements, for new features, for new integrations, throw them in chat. Send us an email, support@dubb.com. Ask Ruben at dubb.com is my email. And we have a community. We have a Facebook group. As mentioned, the YouTube channels. You guys are so important to us. Thank you so very much.
Got a couple of interesting pieces there. Here's what ChatGPT said about Dubb. Yeah, we looked that up, and thankfully there is enough information on Dubb, but it's a little outdated, right? We have had a price increase since that 2021. I mean, that's natural, right? It's been a few years. So
hey, that was our 2021 price.
Right. Good. So yeah, perfect example of what Ruben was describing. When you have enough content out there, it will actually be able to pull up and give you something really specific. Like that's very specific what it gave about Dubb. So how do we get one of these hoodies? I don't know. We these are what, limited stock, right? That was a one-time run.
put one in the chat if you want to have a Dubb merch site.
Right. No, I've gotten a couple requests. I was like, we have the swag pack, but that's all we got.
Cool. Yeah, if anyone wants to upgrade to a Pro Plus account, we have a swag pack which we'll send you, which is a little swell style bottle. It's a metal bottle. It's a t-shirt, nice t-shirt. It's a tri-blend cotton t-shirt, which is the best t-shirt that you can get in my opinion. And then some cool stickers and then a nice little QR code for a video. So if you do want to upgrade your account to a Pro Plus account, you will get an awesome swag pack. Consider doing that. In fact, put Pro Plus in the chat and we'll help you out.
Hoodie for sure. Love my swag. Yep. Heck yeah. Absolutely, Sheila. We love you guys to come into these trainings because again, that's why we're doing it. If we were talking to nobody, we wouldn't feel very good about it. So keep coming, keep listening. We'll keep teaching, guys. Good. Samaya, how much is the subscription for Pro Plus? Pro Plus is $129 to start per month. But I got to say, guys, it's a steal at this point because I am personally connecting with all of our Pro Plus customers. And, not to toot my own horn or whatever, but we've done a lot of work and a lot of research and had some really great success stories. So I know I can bring a lot of value to anyone's business that I'm going to connect with one-on-one. And
Darius, I will toot your horn. You guys have to connect with Darius. We call him the Oracle for a reason. Darius got, I think, a near perfect score in the SAT, which that means a lot. He's a very intelligent guy. He works through things. He's extremely dynamic. Consider upgrading your account to a Pro Plus account, and you'll get to meet him. I know I've learned a lot from him.
And that's the big thing too. Is like I love the opportunity to connect with people one-on-one or with their business, and we really get to go a lot deeper than we get to do in these live trainings because we're able to work in that one-to-one space, and I can figure out what your strategies are, what your technology is, and the best and shortest cut to get there. So
I have a URL here that I want to share, and I sort of configured the showcase feature on Dubb. I don't know how many people are using that, but consider checking that out. What I'll do is I'll share the URL, and this is actually a URL. There it is. This is a URL of every single workshop that we've ever done, I think in 2023. So it's all of our new workshops. So take a look at that URL.
This is the showcase. Hey, well, I don't think we have them all on there yet because I know.
Okay. So we'll make sure that they're updated on this page. So the way that this page works is that we use we tag our videos, and then after we tag them, they dynamically populate. And then of course there's Russ Johns there, and so many more. So we'll make sure that we get all of our recordings, including today's recording, on this page, and then consider sharing that URL with anyone. That has a lot of valuable information. I mean, how much should we charge for this content?
Right. That's somebody's masterclass course there for $1,000. Get these lessons. We love to share it with you guys for free.
So any final questions? We're at the 2:30 mark here, Pacific.
And then again, if there is questions later, guys, live training every single day for you guys that aren't aware of that. Every single weekday, 10 a.m. Pacific. The link is in the chat. If you want to come play around with the URL or the AI or any part of Dubb, and then come talk to us, we're there every single weekday at 10 a.m. to make sure you guys are supported. So you can actually come talk to me, come talk to our team in a real live conversation every weekday at 10 a.m. So you want to do that? I'll see you there. Would love to. Cool. We appreciate you guys so very much. Happy hump day here. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Next time, guys. Bye-bye.